There's a big squabble at the AEW press conference where CM Punk talked some shit, and they went to his locker room, and then they ended up fighting, and he's been off TV ever since, right?
Yes.
So Dave Meltzer reported that CM Punk wanted to come back to AEW, and then CM Punk put out a post on his Instagram. It was like a story, which he then ended up deleting, and it pretty much said that Meltzer's a liar, Jon Moxley's a liar, Jericho's a liar and a stooge.
Okay.
And he said that they wanted him essentially to go out and wrestle a squash match where he was going to just get wrecked by Moxley, even though he was injured and not cleared. And apparently their reasoning was,
well, big nothing.
It's just a squash match, so you can just go out there and get beat quick. But CM Punk's point is that he wasn't medically cleared, and they were making him go out there injured.
He did it anyway.
And also Moxley, he said, refused to lose to him. He said, "I've never had anyone tell me that they
sounds like the
refused to
NBA
lose to me."
And look at Cody, who fucking wrestled with
CJ,
CJ.
while
While
we
we
have
have you here, what are your full, unbiased thoughts on CM Punk? How to do it?
That's fine. That's perfect.
CM Punk.
I hope we can stick with that.
Give me your
CW
Punk.
post.
CW Punk.
CW Punk, bro. Yeah.
I feel like he's extremely misunderstood with a lot of shit.
It's like Aaron Rodgers.
He's the type of guy that I feel wants to help a lot of the young guys. And I feel he facilitated this whole movement of, like, some change.
Right.
When it comes to some stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, the way that the world is now, without getting super political, some people are cunty.
Yeah.
It's good.
And can't handle other people's success, or the fact that when other people bring more to the table than them,
more eyeballs on the product.
It aggravates.
Like who?
I'm not going to say.
You don't mean the Young Bucks, sorry, because the Young Bucks are losing ratings right now.
We're talking about CM Punk. When CM Punk came to AEW,
who did CM Punk get into a backstage fight with?
I'm not saying.
So
that,
is
I'm
he
not saying
get into a backstage fight with?
He viewed as a prima donna or not?
He is, but at the same time, like, I don't know
he
this
wrong?
guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't know the Young Bucks. I've been in a locker room with them once. Nice guys, but like, we don't know what happened behind closed doors.
Right. I think it was all work.
You know what I'm saying? It
Not
could
work.
be. Who
So
knows?
So he's kind of airing out the
Why wasn't he released?
behind-the-scenes
There are
shit.
some people that will go out of their way to make what happens behind closed doors.
It's supposed to be part of the.
That don't work for me, brother.
Wait, yeah. Listen, what is that called? What do we call that?
Shoot.
Well, when you're part of the
personal issues draw money is
Yes,
what,
but at the
Well,
same
the WWE was always good at
at the same
threading
time,
the
like,
needle.
naked.
Threading the needle, right?
How far are you able to
Depends
take
on how
it?
much you're paying them.
And at the same time, when it goes to certain things, like I said, some people are cunty and can't handle the fact that someone else draws more money than them, sells more merchandise than them.
Yeah. And one night
You may not like someone because of a certain situation that happened with someone else. Like, you might not have liked me before we became friends because Joe fucking Blow, who you went to high school with, was like, oh, CJ was a fucking asshole to me back then.
Right.
And I never even fucking said two words to the motherfucker.
Yeah,
You see
it's
what I'm saying?
telephone a friend.
Punk, CM Punk and all this AEW shit.
I don't think Punk's
bring any
over.
of that
I think
back?
Punk is done with
we don't
wrestling.
need that.
He's putting himself
Well,
in
wasn't
such
he
a...
big in the WWE before
He
he
was.
left?
He did a very good promo.
I only say it because, again, loose observer. But if you were to bring him back,
I'll
does
give
he
you
compete?
my perspective on Punk. Like, during, I would say, post-2004, and 2004, ironically, was WrestleMania 20 that I was in front row for. For me, I think
You
pro
said
wrestling...
2004?
2004.
It's like 20 years ago.
Yeah, 19 years ago. So for me, pro wrestling kind of lost its luster after that year. The next year, you had John Cena and Batista as your champions.
Yeah.
I just didn't buy it. I just wasn't bought into it. You moved into the post-Attitude Era, into like a kind of ruthless
stock
aggression
market,
era.
quarterly
2010.
report, WWE.
Yeah, let me finish.
Sorry.
Jesus. And then this guy...
Give him the floor.
And then, you segue into like 05 into like maybe 2010, and it's all Cena. And the crowd is just hating every fucking minute of it. And I did go to One Night Stand 2006. I was also at One Night Stand 2005. But the RVD John Cena match is what brought me back into wrestling. But it was a niche thing for ECW for a little bit of time.
Because you felt connected to that.
I had to go.
Yeah.
I've been
It's a
to every
Hammerstein
single
Ballroom, New
ECW
York
show. There's
City.
no way I'm
Amazing.
not going for the rebirth of ECW. And then they fucking killed it. Like, they had it on Sci-Fi. They had a fucking vampire and a pirate and this fucking shit. And then Vince McMahon wins the ECW title. And then the Big Show
the
wins
do-rag.
the ECW title. It
Oh
was
my
fucking
God.
atrocious. It was
Oh my
awful.
God.
That, to me, was the death of wrestling.
Well, they tried
I-
to turn it into a developmental
After
territory.
2006, I wanted nothing to do with pro wrestling. As someone who's been watching it since I'm fucking 4 years old.
80s, yeah.
Did Punk draw you back in though?
Punk drew me back in 2011 with the promo.
Because he was different.
He was different, but he was also saying the things that I was saying of why I don't want to watch anymore.
Yes.
So that brought me back to watching.
problem
And then The
is
Rock came out,
he kept singing
a
the
year
same
later,
song.
and draw me back in again.
Trying
So
to
if not
help,
for those things, I don't know if I would be sitting here talking about pro wrestling anymore. To be honest.
So he has credibility with the wrestling fans, let's say, right? I don't know.
He called
He went to
himself the
UFC and
voice
got
of
his
the
ass beat. I think he
voiceless.
lost his credibility.
So Chris says he lost his
That's
credibility.
I think
Credibility
that
in, like, a
my
fight, not with
impression,
fans. What are you
my
talking about?
impression, if I can get a word in edgewise, you fucking prick. Fucking, my impression is that he's the guy at work that
Welcome
like
to the show.
says some things that you want him to say, but then like 2 or 3 years of working with him, and all he's doing is fucking bitching, and just like he's
Hey,
like
listen.
that disgruntled coworker that you love, but it's like fucking you also kind of fucking hate them. That's how I kind of feel about him.
guy
And
sounds like Aaron
when he went into
Rodgers
AEW, everybody's like, "Yeah, she's going to AEW," and look what ended up happening. The same shit, where he's gonna take his ball and go home, and maybe he's partially right. I don't know what the fuck happened. Again, I think it's partially
Shit.
at work.
In my opinion,
opinion.
I think again, observing, controversial, right? That's good.
Definitely controversial.
Hyper controversial.
Good wrestler.
He's a good wrestler.
I've never seen
He-
Punk have a bad match.
He's from AEW. Cody's not from AEW,
His
but
last
I'm just
couple
saying,
Easy.
they're in that same
The
ilk.
Hangman Page match.
Do
where he-
Cody and
foot.
CM
Oh, it's-
Punk have history?
Yeah.
Is there history?
Cody and CM Punk?
Cody and
no.
CM Punk.
Yeah,
Really?
no,
There's
to a
nothing.
degree.
Nah, I mean,
They like each
not-
other.
When-
Cody
Well,
said
well,
like,
that's
was in
fine. That's fine.
WWE.
But
First starting as Orton's underling.
Yeah, Dashing Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, they had wrestled a handful full of times.
There was, I mean,
they crossed paths, but
you
they
can,
didn't
you
have
can
like
make
a
story in pro wrestling. Out of
of
anything.
course,
nemesis
listen,
type
I'm
dynamic.
throwing fucking
Yeah.
little shit out there, but
thoughts at the
is
moment.
it possible?
Is the
Because
past. He's the past. I want the future. Let's. I
Now,
want,
Seth Rollins already came out and said we don't want him here.
So what everybody
think
wants
that- I
is
think he
Cody
was
Rhodes
working.
versus CJ Bambino.
Yeah.
First
there we go.
round.
Let's do it.
we would all pay to watch that.
I'd be there
So
front row.
pivoting to
The Italian.